was sponsored by the families of Brother Ali Lakhani, Zaigam Kazmi, Abbas Haider, Ashraf Naqvi, Shakir Rizvi, Adnan Zaidi, Ramiz Zaidi, Rahmat Ali, and Arif Girniwala. For these families, Sehat, Salamti, and Barakat, please recite a loud salawat. Let's recite a Surah Fatiha for these sponsoring families, Marhumeen, and your Marhumeen, and for all Marhum Mu'minin and Mu'minat, preceded by a loud salawat. Brothers and sisters, we have many Maries in our community critically ill and are in need of our du'as. Especially, I was approached by a brother, his father is in critical care. Please recite 3 times loud salawat for Sehat, Salamti, and quick recovery of brother Sheikh Zuhaib Hussain. For all Maries, Mu'minin and Mu'minat, please recite a 3 times salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Brothers and sisters, ziyarat will be recited after the conclusion of speech by Hujjatul Islam, Dr. Syed Hadi Yasin. I just want to have a quick introduction once again for him. If you are staying, kindly remain seated. If you are leaving the premises, please leave as quietly as possible, so not to interfere with the program. Hujjatul Islam, Dr. Syed Hadi Yasin is an Islamic scholar with a doctorate in psychology and a certified professional coach. He founded Hadi Life Coaching in 2013, providing coaching on child development, parenting, and relationships to clients across 10 plus countries. Notably, he has experience working with children, families with special needs. Dr. Yasin is also a community leader and a motivational speaker who focuses on empowering minorities groups across US. Now, without further ado, I would like to request Hujjatul Islam Syed Hadi Yasin to please come to the minbar. Bar Muhammad wale Muhammad salawat.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيب قلوبنا وطبيب نفوسنا وشفيع ذنوبنا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وعلى أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين واللعنة الدائمة لأعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. May Allah accept all our prayers, our amal, our fastings, our du'as, inshaAllah, all our dedications. Make this inshaAllah zakhira and reward for dunya wal akhirah. Bibarakati salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the tawfiq. Once again we're together. Inshallah, it will be a step towards improvement, towards salvation, inshallah. We were talking about the practical topics, how to improve our life, how to customize Ramadan, and the opportunities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala provide for us in order to maximize the benefit from those times. Once again, when you look to see throughout the year, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala recommended 1 month is Sha'ban, Rajab, Muharram, so and so, this amal is important, that amal is important. Physically, the months and the days and nights are the same. There's no difference. There's no difference between Ramadan days and nights and after and before Ramadan. Exactly equal. The difference is the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that are upon those people who would like to take advantage of it, to get closer to Him and to improve themselves, to change themselves. If you want the best example, At the time of Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, no one is better than him, right? He's the best of all human beings. A lot of people around him, a lot, knee to knee, sitting down, breathing the same air, that we wish that we can see Rasulullah in our dream, right? They spend time with him. Did everyone reach salvation? Did everyone become the best? No. The majority couldn't take advantage of this, right? Surah Munafiqun happens because of who? Because of those people who were with him, they didn't take advantage of him. So it's not being close to Rasulullah. It's not being next to Kaaba. It's not being in the month of Allah. It's about how and who you are to take advantage of it. Make sense? Yes? Therefore, it is up to me to be able to find the night of Qadr within myself, not to find myself in night of Qadr. A lot of people have night of Qadr. All these neighbors around, they have night of Qadr as well, right? Other people who may be Muslim, but nothing will change. Depends on how I take advantage. That's what we're talking about, the practical topics. Last night we talked about the topic of su'e khulq, which one of the aspects of it was what? Anger. And how anger can prevent someone from reaching the full potential in deen and interfere their lifestyle, their daily life. Few more, one or two, maybe a little bit more of the last recommendations, how to control the anger. And inshallah, we go to the next step of the characteristics of the su'e khulq, or bad-tempered person. We mentioned a lot of practical steps, right? How to prevent us from getting angry and how to control the anger. You remember, inshallah? Yes? Inshallah. One of the important things that can help me to have this mentality of being able to have control over my emotion is to be around people who have the same characteristics. Be around people who are patient. Be a friend of those people who usually control their anger, their emotions, and so on and so forth, right? The more you spend time with people, imagine, if you're part of the group of people who all smoke, most probably you'll be smoking. If not the first hand, second hand, right? The doctor says, if you want to quit, get out of that circle. It will tempt you to do that. The same thing with haram. Get away from the groups, friends who are involved with haram things. Oh, I am going to control myself, or I'm so and so. Forget about it. Imam Masum says to one of his companions, either you're a friend with that guy or with me. Make a decision. I don't want to be with your friends if you don't, right? Therefore, if I be around people who have certain personality issue, it would affect me. Vice versa. If I be around people who their hilm and forbearance and patience and characteristics, right? Imagine the more you spend time with, why is so important and recommended النظر إلى وجه المؤمن العبادة. Why? While looking at the face of a mu'min is ibadat. Why? Because you will be affected, influenced by spending time with the mu'min, with the believers. Why you go to with the majra, with an arif, with ulama, you sit down with them, you get affected by their calmness, by their behavior and characteristics, right? So that's one of the important things that would affect the mentality of that person. The second things tonight, how I shouldn't have this mentality that I'm always right and other people's are right. If I said to you, do you think you're always right? What is the answer? No. A lot of people say, oh, yes, mashallah, that's all right. Very honest, alhamdulillah. Finally, one person is honest. I might say, no. But in reality, yeah, the answer that brother gave, this is the reality that we believe a lot of time, right? If you ask someone, this is, well, no, no one is perfect. But the way that they act, as if they are perfect. Saying is different than what we believe in it, right? So it is important to believe that, no, I can make a mistake. I'm not right all the time. Including the one that I don't think they're right, they are right. Which leads to I respect other people's opinion too, including my family members. Doesn't matter I have PhD in something or super duper PhD. Someone else can teach me something as well, right? No, who are that person? I'm so and so. No, I can make a mistake. If someone come and criticize, I have to be open to it. If I bring that mentality to myself, no, I'm always right. Because I am so and so, I'm always right. Because I am, no. I might be. So I give this chance to other people to do against what I think, and I will be able to control myself. So, and it is important, it is recommended, sometimes deeply think about the athar, the pros and cons of our behavior and our actions. I always recommend, go back to your history and past, literally make the notes. My behavior in that specific time, how did I react to that? What was the consequence of that? Positive, negative, with my children, my parents, with my spouse? What was it? Insan aqil, a wise person, will get lesson from it. Amir al-Mu'minin Imam alayhi salatu wassalam, Manghul is narrated from him in Nahj al-Balagha as well. It says, a mu'min would take ibrah, lessons from the things that happen. Imam says, get lessons from the history. People were living before you. What happened to them? You don't make the same mistakes. I give these simple examples. Imagine you drive, 9:30, 10 for example, you want to go to grocery stores. And see someone is coming back, says, oh, they're closed. The door is closed. Are you the person? No, I have to get down. I have to go touch the door myself. Or I see this person is coming and says the door is closed. Some people say, no, I have to go check myself. Okay, so go. Ibrah, sometimes, right? So that's about the anger overall. It takes way more time if we're going to go deeper and deeper into anger, because anger has a reasons. Go back to the childhood of the person. Goes back to the hidden emotions of that person, what happened and so on and so forth. It has a deeper clinical aspects into this that it's beyond the scope of our discussion here. Maybe inshallah another time, if you have a workshop, we'll talk about it. But one characteristics of the one who has a bad-tempered personality is what? Anger. The other thing, very interesting, subhanAllah, when you go to ahadith and riwayat, you see the depth of analyzing human beings. You see how Ahlul Bayt, within the, spirituality and iman, they can pinpoint the personality of human beings. Hadith is saying that من استطاع أن تمنع نفسه من أربعة أشياء فهو خليق بأن لا ينزل به مكروه أبدا. Allahu Akbar. So 4 things. If you can control yourself with these 4 things, nothing bad would happen to you. Nothing shar would happen to you. It's a promise of Master. 4 things. When I say these 4 things, you can think about it the other way, that these things are the characteristics of a bad-tempered person. On the other side, a good-tempered person would not have these 4 things. Yes? Is that clear? Yes or no? Yes. The first one, hadith is saying, al-ajala. To rush to do something. To hurry and hasten towards doing something. We're going to talk about this, which has different aspects. The first aspects I want to talk about is to rush into doing things. Making a decision. Ayat of Quran, they talk a lot about this. Some of the ayat, if I tell you, بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم Surah Anbiya خلق الإنسان من عجل. Insan is created in haste. Haste. He wants to rush into things so quickly, right? One of the characteristics of the disbelievers is this, rushing into things, rushing into believing in something or rejecting something. Quran says, لو كنا نسمع ونعقل ما كنا في أصحاب السعير. If the Ashab say, the people of the hellfire would say, if we were just listening and paying attention to this and thinking about it, we wouldn't be part of the hellfire now. We didn't do it. They thought probably they're right. Remember what we said? They're right, so they don't have to. Making decision and I see it every day in people's daily life. Hurry and rushing in to make a decision to choose a major. I want to just major, unless this is started. I see a lot of younger friends, they hurry in to make a decision to choose a major without thinking about it properly. They study, they get stuck into it. And then as a result, I didn't like this, what will happen? It affects the mentality, mindset. They're depressed, it's boring, I don't know what to do, I don't know about the future. Their akhlaq will be affected by that, right? Making decision in speaking and saying something without thinking. In Islam, one of the personality of a believer is that they pause, they think, then they talk. When you sit down with, it happened when you sit down with ulama, maraj, you sit down. When you ask a question and speaking or answering a question, when you ask them a question, they don't give the question so quickly. They pause, they think. They might know the answer, by the way. It's not that they don't know. They pause, they think, they analyze, then they speak. You literally see why you're pausing. They don't want to rush into say something. They taste it a little bit. Should I say this, Imagine if we get used to this, that we think about, we don't rush into answering, what will happen? When I am in debate with someone, when I'm in a little bit, tension with someone, if there is a fight, if there's anger is coming up, I'm already used to not quickly answer. What is the main reason in the argument that it heated up? What is it? Back and forth responding, right? Interrupting each other, correct? It's one of the see every day. And one of the main things we says, brother, sister, do not interrupt each other. Respect each other. The first factor for a constructive communication. Don't interrupt each other. Let the other one, I know you don't agree, but let them, this is their right to talk, and then you can talk, right? One of the characteristics of Imam Rida alayhi salatu wasalam, subhanAllah, see, we have this in our Ahlul Bayt. It says he has never interrupted someone. Doesn't he know everything? He knows. So the question they want to ask, he is the Imam Ma'asum, he knows everything, but he respects other. Sometimes you see, you go to a marja, you go to an alim, you ask, you want to tell them something. Oh no, I just found they listen very carefully, mashallah. Then you realize 20 years ago he knew about this thing that he gave lecture about that topic, right? But as a respect, he was listening to you very well. So, this is what we're talking about, akhlaq, the akhlaq of mu'min. So, not to rush into this, so then I get used to it. In the fight, in the argument, in the heat of the conversation, I don't just quickly just say something. No, let me think about it. Let me analyze. It's very difficult, brothers and sisters. It's so easy to say it, right? It's very easy to say it. But when it comes to that moment, Allahu Akbar, because physical and emotional and psychological things all together are pushing me to answer, right? It needs a lot of practice. A lot of practice. Now we understand what we talk about. Ihdina as-sirat al-mustaqim. Ya Allah, keep me in the right path so I can improve myself day by day. Rushing into choosing a friend. Friends can change the entire path of our life. This is another thing. More important than this, that I see it days by days, rushing into choosing a spouse. Maulana, he was the best youth of masjid. She was the best so-and-so in the masjid. Did you do any research? Everybody was looking for him. Everybody was. Did you pause to think to? You might see some examples around you. Why do I have to rush into this? This hadith. Khutbah Jum'ah, it says someone came to Rasulullah Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Says, give me a nasihat. Rasulullah says, whenever you want to do any decision, make any decision, think about the end of it. Okay. The time for research about the future spouse is before you get married, not after. A lot of people, they make this quick decision, they get married. When the troubles happen, let's research. Oh my God, this person had this and that and that. You were supposed to do it before. After it's gone. A main responsibility of that is on the shoulder of parents, by the way, first. Just because someone looks good and nice, that doesn't mean anything. Right? You see, when I rush into doing something, it might cause problem. Ahadith are saying that you need to have this mentality to analyze things. ثلاث من كن فيه لم يندم. There are three things, if someone has, will never regret. Look how deep these traditions are. We need these traditions. We need to apply these things into our lives, right? Never regret. How many times do we regretted about something, we said something, we didn't make a decision, or we didn't make a decision, right? Three things. Tarkul ajala. The same thing we're saying. Get away from rushing into a decision or things. No, get away from it. You never regret. You pause. You want to take a test? Never rush into this. Even if you know the answers, don't rush into answering. Second, وَالتَّوَكُّلُ عَلَى اللَّهِ. عند العظيمة. Rely on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You do your job, you do research, everything you need to do, right? Second, mashwara, consult with the expert about that job. Do anything you have to do. It's about marriage, it's about friendship, it's about, choosing something, a business. It looks so great. Do research about this. Talk to professionals about this. What do you think about this, right? And then tawakkul ala Allah. You never regret. If anything happen, you know it's beyond your control. It's in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Right? On the other side, we have the ajala mamduh. The ajala that is good actually. The positive ajala. The positive aspects of rushing into doing something. Quran says, Bismillah, fastabiqul khayrat. When there is something khair, then you already did the research. You know it's khair, don't wait. Hadith is saying, when the khair is in front of you, if you pause, shaitan come and interfere with that khair. Doesn't let you do anything. You did research, you know that decision is good, that person is a good person, everything is done, do it. Don't wait. Inshallah, another few months, maybe, maybe not. No, do it. If it's khair, right? فَاسْتَبِغُوا الْخَيْرَاتِ صَارُوا إِلَى مَغْفِرَةٍ مِّن رَبِّكُمْ. When it comes to maghfirah of Allah, don't wait. If you see someone is in need, you need to help someone. You need to provide support to someone financially, by action, whatever you can. What are you waiting for? Inshallah, someone else is going to do? No. There's a competition in khair. When it comes to khair, don't wait. There's a list of sponsors, brothers and sisters, who is like, don't wait. Bismillah, go for it. You see? Don't wait for the list to. No, you be the first one who would do. Asking for donation, you be the first one who will raise your hand. And you encourage other people as well. So that's one aspect of this characteristics of a bad-tempered person, to ajala and rush. The other side of this, which is more harmful than the first side that I said, ajala in judging people. Rushing into judging other people. This is very epidemic. Very epidemic. We invited them to come to our house. We went to their house to their wedding. They didn't come to ours. See, they wanted to disrespect us. Why he's acting this way weirdly recently? Why she's doing this way? Ajala to judge people. Islam is totally saying, remember last time we says, justify and justify and justify. Who am I to be able to judge other people? Why? Hadith is saying that whenever you're done with looking into your deficiencies and you cannot find anything else within yourself, this is the time you're allowed to go think about other people's deficiencies. You know, in our communities sometimes, how many times people are focusing and zooming on other people's life? Why they're acting this way? Why they're not having kids? Why they're having fight with each other? It's not your business. People's life is not my business. If someone comes and asks me a question, what should I do? Then it becomes my business to answer them. Sometimes we want to interfere, right? When you heard something about someone's life, let me investigate into this. See what happened, why that happened. Maybe inshallah I can help. No, please. If they need help, they'll come to you. Right? Ajala into judging people, why they're doing this. Multiple stories I have. But a believer is not this way. A believer is the one who gives chance to other people. Justify the action of it. Maybe they didn't feel well. Maybe their kids. Story interesting. One of the lady says, it was in social media, it says, I went to the airport, I had a flight, I bought a bag of chips for myself, and I sat down. I opened my bag of chips, I started eating. There was a guy next to me, he started eating from my chips. I was taking one, he was taking one from my chips. And every single one that I was taking, he was taking one. I was like, how rude he is. And I was waiting to see how rude he is until the end. We went all the way to the last piece. He picked it up, he split it in half, he gave me half, he ate the other half. It's like, how rude is this guy? I grabbed my purse and everything, I went inside the airplane. I sat down and I saw that my chips is in my bag. It was his chips. I was eating his chips. And how patient and kind he was to share with me. And that was my reaction and behavior towards him. Happened multiple times. Couples come to me, we talk with each other, fight with each other over 30 years. The first day of the marriage, the wedding, issue between in-laws and her wedding gown. Yeah, your mother said this, your father, blah, blah. After 30 days, 30 years, we talked with each other. And then he explained, she was like, oh, I thought it's the other way. I said, oh, 30 years of holding grudges against the mu'min, the believers. MashaAllah. 30 years, right? Rushing it. It should be opposite. There's a joke, says a brother didn't come home at night, and the next day he went home, and the wife says, where have you been? I'm suspicious. Where have you been? He says, I was with my friends. He already set it up. She called 4 of his friends. 3 of them says he was in our house. 1 of them says he is right now with me to support the guy. So not rush into making this decision. Someone did this, someone did that. Why they did this? Why they didn't come? Justify and justify. It's your greatness. You want to know why? Imagine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if He wanted to rush to our azab. You know why Rasulullah is the best of all human beings? Because he's the closest to Allah's characteristics and personality than all of us. Right? That's why He's the best of all people. Allah is all-knowing, all-merciful, the most generous. No one can reach to His level, right? Among the human beings, who is the most generous, the kindest? Rasulullah. That's why He's the best. The closer I get to the personality of Ahlul Bayt, personality of Rasulullah, the better I'll become. If Allah wanted to rush into what? If Rasulullah wanted to rush into punishing people, I remember he was in a war, in a fight. Someone saw that he's selectively fighting and to get rid of certain, enemies. He asked, why this person you let him, stay alive, and the other one, it says, in his generation will come a righteous person. Allah, that's Amir al-Mu'minin, He can see unseen, right? Allah He's not rushing into making decision about this, does He? He gives time and time and time, and He's Sattarul Uyub. He covers our deficiency. He covers. Now you see where I got this from. He keeps covering until, if you're not making fun of Him, He keeps covering. He says, come back. I know you one day you'll come back. Make sense? So not rushing into, ajala. So the hadith says 4 things. If you get away from these 4 things, first one was ajala, so you'll be safe all the time. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. So when I read these things, I want you to not just listen to this. Try to use this template to put your life into it, personally. To see where part of your life you can improve yourself based on this recommendation. The second aspect that if you out of those 4 things, which is the akhlaq of bad-tempered person, and if you control it, nothing bad will happen to you based on the hadith. Second thing is al-lajaja, stubbornness. A bad-tempered person is what? Is stubborn. One of the main characteristics of kuffar is stubbornness. No matter what proof you bring to them, they do what? They don't accept it. The story of Mubahila, what happened? You all know about it. Christians of Najran, whatever Rasulullah proved to them, He brought the facts to them. What did they do? Not accepting it. To the extent that they went for the Mubahila and cursing. You see how the lajaja will come? They don't accept haqq. Disbelievers' personality, kuffar, mushrikeen's main personality is a stubbornness. I am right. Even if I know, if I know you're right, doesn't matter, I'm right. That's why mira and jidal, argument, is haram in Islam. Argument that I know there's no reason, is for the sake of just debate. Mira is haram in Islam. Jidal, back and forth. You say something, I said it. Even ilmi, even scientifically, even Islamically. You don't want to accept it. One of the Maraji, he was giving the dars, the lessons, right? One of his students, he was back and forth arguing with him. No, Maulana, why is it this way? I think it's this way. At the end, Maulana says, this is how much I know. Maybe you know better. Khadafis, Tamasta. Why should I argue with you? If you don't want to accept it, Khadafis, maybe. You see, Rather than, I'm the Maulana, I'm the one who doctors, why you're not accepting? Oh, you don't accept it, one stop. Right? That person might realize that and come back later and understand, So, this lajaja happened because sometimes our houses become the court. I want to prove the point, right? And I want to bring the witnesses. Children, you're the eyewitness, please bring so we can sentence someone. Mom or dad or others or children. Why? Why lajaja? Why stubbornness here? Now you see how they're connected with the good temper. What I said, maybe I'm wrong. It's not that always I'm right. So, because you did this, I'm not going to come to your mother's house. I'm not going to come to your brother's wedding anymore. I'm hearing every day. See how cheap it sounds when I say it, isn't it? It's happening every day. You're not allowed to go out because you didn't do that. So that's it? You're happy with that? Imagine, there's the rope, you pull on one side, the other one on one side. We said, what will happen? This personality of kuffar, what will happen to them? Quran Ahadith is saying the end of this personality is rejecting the ayat of Allah, going against the path of Allah. When someone is used to this is the end of that. Ahadith is saying that stubbornness would destroy the life of a person. And stubbornness is usually comes with jahl and ignorance. I just want to, this is what it is, and I see that a lot in people's life. If I give up, am I lose something? No. No, not necessarily. Give chance to other person so the person will realize if they are right or if they're wrong. And to yourself. But how to take care of this and how to make it better? First we have to see, I'll finish with this inshallah. First we have to see the reasons behind stubbornness. Why someone has become stubborn. Some of the things I want to say rooted to your childhood. When parents, they keep correcting kids, putting them down, will make them stubborn later on. I was always wrong, right? So now that I'm growing up, I have more power over myself. What do? I am right always, because I was always wrong. I developed this personality that now I'm always right. Never ever. Hadith manqul from Imam Ali alayhi salatu wassalam. Al-ifratu fil malamah yashubbu miranul lajaja. When you rush to a lot of reprimanding a person or a child or someone, this would bring the flame of the lajaja and the stubbornness higher and higher. Make the person to be more stubborn. So that's one thing. Second, looking for unhealthy attention. Sometimes the person knows, but they want to do this, so it will be on attention. In social media, one of the tricks to get more like is to say something wrong. Did you know that? You get a lot of comments to correct you. Because of the comments, you get a lot of traffic, your page go higher. See how horrible it is? Throw out the rumors and wrong things. People come to correct you. They think you made a mistake. Yeah. Arrogance is another thing. Argument is another thing. Too much expectation is another thing. And having negative thoughts, that's another reason that, lajaja happens as well. But how to take care of it? First and foremost, like anything else, cognitively I think about it. What is the benefit of me being stubborn? The first thing that happened, I'll lose people around me. They start getting away from me, right? People don't like to be around the stubborn person. They might just tolerate it, but they don't enjoy being around the person. Cognitively, I think about it. Pros and cons. What I gain, what I lose about this. Second, step by step. Many of these things that we said, you will never probably be able to take care of this overnight or a week or something. It's a process you need to get better. Or if someone they're dealing with this, it's a whole process that they should get better through this. Make sense? Yeah? So you have to give chance to that person step by step to work on themselves. And then practicing. Help the person to practice. Don't kick the person. No, you have this issue, so go fix yourself. I can't do it. Help that person if they need help. To stay with them step by step to get over. Help them to understand, myself understand, to start practicing to accepting other people's opinion now. Deliberately. From now on, whoever says anything, sounds right, Bismillah, I'm going to accept it. Totally go opposite. Expose yourself, exposure therapy. Expose yourself to the other side. Someone has waswas and OCD to something, one of the ways is that expose yourself more to it. Right? So me exposing myself to what? To accepting and respecting other people's opinion. Literally, from now on, that urge come to me. Oh, he's wrong. Say it again. Right? I accept it. The more you do it, the more this personality starts shaping. There are two more, inshallah, we'll talk about it. So far then, what we talked about, anger, which is the peak of the emotions that comes. The other thing was what? Ahsan. Rushing into things, right? Al-ajala. And the last one was what? You're not that old, mashallah, you can remember. What was the last one? Stubbornness, right? Stubbornness in accepting haqq. Let's get used to it. So when the haqq comes to us, we accept it. Doesn't matter. From little kid, one of the things can help a lot. You be the first one who humble yourself and go say salam to other people. Hadith is saying. One of the reasons behind the stubbornness is arrogance. Inshallah, maybe one night we talk about arrogance. Arrogance. I'm waiting for other to come and say salam to me. No. Hadith is saying, if you come to the majlis, wherever is open, sit down over there. I'm going to wait for them to say, Maulana, please, Bismillah, brother, come over, sit here, respect. No, you go sit down wherever you are. And if someone is coming, scoot over, give them the chance to sit down next to you. You see how you balance. How many of you guys recited Dua Makarim al-Akhlaq, the dua of Imam Sajjad on noble moral traits? Raise your hand. Ahsan. Please, those who didn't read it and those who read it again. The 20th dua of Syed Sajjad. Read the translation of this. See how Imam Sajjad, psychologically and physically, make balance between these two. Okay? For example, he says, Ya Allah, in the sight of other people, in front of other people, bring my azamat and my honor so high, so people will respect me. In myself and in your sight, bring me down, so I can make this balance here. So I don't become arrogant. This balance, you can see it in dua. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد اللهم عجل لوليك الفرج والعافية والناصر ومد في أمره الشريف وزين الأرض بطول بقائه واجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره وشيعته يا رحمن يا رحيم ثبت قلوبنا على دينك بحق الرسول يا Allah. Hasten the dhuhr of our Imam Mahdi. Us and our generation, let us be among the best of his followers. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. Those around the world who are under difficulties, in Gaza, in Yemen, all around, anywhere, Ya Allah. Especially the muhibbeen of Ahlul Bayt, provide opportunity for their freedom and success. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim. My brothers and sisters, respected brothers and sisters who have hajat and requests, give them all khair hajat. Those who are not feeling well, cure them at this moment. And those who passed away, send the thawab and reward from our gathering to their souls. Rahimallah man yaqra'u al-fatihata ma salawat. إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وعجل اللهم في فرج مولانا صاحب الزمان صلى الله عليك يا رسول الله صلى الله عليك يا حبيب الله السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يا صوب الدين السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين السلام عليك يا أبا محمد يا حسن بن علي السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك وعلى تسعة المعصومين من ذريتك صلى الله عليك يا صاحب الزمان يا إمام الإنس والجان يا شريك القرآن الأمان ورحمة الله وبركاته.